Welcome back to K and Didi. I'm Didi.
And I'm Kay.
We've got something nice for you guys. First time home buyers tips.
Ever since I left your crib.
If you're looking to get on that property ladder, these will definitely help you out.
Today we're going to cover a couple of key things that you need to bear in mind when you are about to purchase your house. First one is setting financial goals.
Yes. So financial goals, even though it's the first one, I think it's probably the most important one, and then the rest flows on from that, is you need to basically look at what your income is and also the kind of house that you want. And through those goals, then you can see what's most suitable, what you can afford, and not just what you can afford, but what you'll be happy paying mortgage for month on month, or buying outright if you have the capital for it. But yeah, what you're basically happy to live with.
By setting financial goals, it allows you to know the timelines of when you'll be able to afford the house, and also how long it's going to take you to save and how much you'll need for that particular house. So if you know the type of house you want and how much it's going to cost you, set yourself up and plan ahead and set your financial goals along with that, and that way you can hit every target as you go along.
Yeah, and you can definitely easily track your progress, how you're getting on, and then each month you can maybe I'll put more to this, or I'll put less to that, whatever. So it's fully in your control, and it's something you're working towards.
Yeah, and by setting your goals as well, you are able to see them and remind yourself as well of what they are. So you're constantly thinking about it. Whereas if you don't set your financial goals, no matter what income comes in, you might just spend it on other things. So you have a financial goal of, say, I want to save up 50k so I can buy a house. That's a good target, and you know what it is, and you know what you need to do to get to that target.
So as well as setting your financial goals, what's equally crucial actually is knowing and having a good credit score, because your credit score, and to summarize, is basically a lender seeing what you can afford, or your affordability, which is key when you're taking out a mortgage.
First thing you want to do is set yourself up with one of the credit checks agencies. For example, you have Experian, you have ClearScore. So once you sign up to those, you'll be able to see where your credit score is at the moment. It will also be able to tell you if you need to do any work on it and how to improve. And also it just keeps track of like your spending as well, and how much maybe say credit you have out. So it's really important, and it's also another good thing to make sure like nothing weird is happening on your account as well.
Yeah, definitely, because you could have the more searches against your name, the worse your credit score, because then it starts looking like you're reliant on credit. And a tip, actually, I use this personally, but a tip to help improve your credit score and you can still manage and control it, is to take out a very low limit credit card, something like maybe £100 or £200 credit card limit. That way you're still using your credit card, but you're limited to the £200. You can easily pay that off. When it comes, you can pay off in full, but the fact that you're using it, it shows that you're actually reliable and you're in control of your finances, because you're always paying it back. What you get is people often take out credit cards that are high limits, and then they get to that limit, and guess what, these credit cards, they also come with high interest rates. So if you have a high limit, you're basically chasing your tail trying to pay it off, because the interest, all you're doing at that point is just paying off the interest, because the interest is so much. So get a low limit in interest credit card, or low limit credit card.
Yeah, so that's if you're looking to improve your credit score. Another thing also to help improve your credit score is going on the voting register. So make sure you register yourself to vote. That also helps them determine like your location and things like that. But definitely, if you're a first time home buyer, make sure you have a good credit.
Getting a mortgage approval from a lender. So there's places that you can actually apply. So there's First Mortgage. If you're in the UK, there's First Mortgage, there's Mortgage Advice Bureau. We're not affiliated with any of these. This is just what we've used personally. Like those ones, I know they're pretty good agents. And what they can do is they check your affordability through questions. They do the credit check on you, and then they tell you what lenders are available, what rates they're going for, basically effectively competitive, showing you what's the best competition out there and the best lender for you, and then from there you pick which one you want. But also they get you approval from these lenders, and those approvals come in the form of a
mortgage in principle.
That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, another key thing to take away from that as well, in terms of like, so if say you're buying a new build, so that way you're not stressing as well, and you're not worrying about mortgages if you don't know that much. A lot of even if you're not buying a new build, or you're going with like an agency who's selling a property like an old build, they usually have financial advisors, so like a mortgage advisor, so they'll be able to put you in contact, and all you need to do is just say yes when they offer you that, if you don't have anybody. So that way you can go away, they can calculate your income, they can, put everything together, and then they can come up with a plan for you and see your affordability, like Didi mentioned. So take advantage of that if you don't have anybody.
Definitely.
Apart from that, just do your research, find out who's good. There's so many good mortgage advisors out there that can help you, or even banks. You can even contact your own bank as well. They can help you with that. Another tip is budgeting. So make sure you come up with a budget if you're buying your first property. Make sure you incorporate extra costs, hidden costs. There's so many hidden costs when buying a first time house.
Tell me about it.
Or even a second, it doesn't matter. So again, whether it's a new build or old build, say for example you're buying an older house, again there might be a lot of hidden costs. So don't just budget for the down payment. Make sure you budget for things like maybe you might need a new boiler, new flooring, new kitchen, new bathroom. So make sure you include that in your budget. So budget, have a plan in mind.
Yeah, and I'll let you know just a couple of surface level, couple of things to bear in mind to budget for. So from the legal initial side of things, you need a solicitor to obviously draw up the papers and stuff like that. You also need to, eventually when you get your mortgage advisor that gives you the best lender, all of that, they come with a fee as well eventually, and it's a 2-part fee. The first one is them finding you a lender, and then the second part is you getting approved for a mortgage. So those are the 2 ones. The other ones is for LBTT, depending on the value of the property that you're going to buy. You have land, building and tax to pay, effectively tax, and then obviously you've got your deposit, your initial deposit. In the UK is deposit, America is down payment, wherever means the same thing, and that's a percentage of the value of the property. And like Kay mentioned, some other budgeting things you can bear in mind is, especially if it's a new build, often you have to get the back. You don't get turf at the back. For a lot of builders, they don't do that. So you need to budget for landscaping, get that done, and you're just having grass, or you're getting something crazy done to your back, wherever. And also furnishing furniture inside, carpet. You don't. It all seems little things, but these all add up.
They really do. You find yourself in IKEA every single day. And your pockets will be getting deeper and deeper because money just coming out like crazy. I remember when we were doing up our investment property. If you haven't seen it, check it out. We have a video of the before and after. And even something as simple as paints, like we would budget, and in the next minute the paint run out, and we're out back in B&Q.
And then we'll find out that the paint we used initially when we run out, it's not in B&Q, so we get another paint that is a different type of, because there's different types of white, there's different types of blacks, blues, so we thought there's just one white. So but yes, those are the things you need to bear in mind. So
it's a lot. A lot. And something else as well we didn't budget for was when we fitted the carpets. Again, the carpets were too high, so we needed the doors to be trimmed, so we had to bring somebody in to come and trim the doors. I mean, it's a lot. You have to bear all those things in mind.
But all that is fun. And I would say a rule of thumb is sort of whatever you have, add 10 or 20% onto that. In terms of budget, that 10 or 20% will cover other things. For sure. And again, I think this is maybe in another video we talked about this.
don't overstretch yourself. Don't go for the most expensive house just because it's nicer. Try and go for a reasonably priced house, especially for a first home. Unless if you can afford it, again, like if you have the money, by all means, like go all out. But I think if you're just starting out, any house is good enough because it's a good starting point. And remember, the house will only appreciate. So from there, you can now take all that good appreciation and put it in your dream house eventually in the future.
Oh yeah, or if you're already in your dream house, you can use that appreciation money and just on investments, or even if you want to buy a car or do it for yourself.
Yeah,
you
holiday, go on holiday.
Yes. Or if you're downsizing, maybe your kids have moved out in the future, you're downsizing. That's where you basically treat yourself.
Yeah, that's where you see the money. So definitely good things to take into consideration.
Yeah, and this one actually is key, is find a good real estate agent.
Yeah.
And well, the first step you take to finding houses maybe is Rightmove, and from there, whoever put up the listing usually will be a real estate agent. So then speak to them. They'll actually guide you on what's about the property.
Yeah.
A good real estate agent would actually just tell you everything about the property. They'll be very keen to show off, tell you, oh, this has that has that, and then all the things that are being offered with the property. And if it's a new build, often you'll just be dealing with the builder anyway. So either the builder or new real estate agents. But if it's a new build, check out our other video on how to spot good builders.
Yeah. And another thing, when you're buying an older house, make sure you read the home report. The home report is the Bible. It's the Bible, and that will also give you an idea of what you need to fix. So for example, a lot of things in the house will be rated 1 to 3, and 3 is like the worst. So if you're seeing a lot of 3s and you still want to buy the house, bear in mind that you're gonna have to fix those things as quickly as possible. So make sure you read that home report like the back of your hand. Like make sure you read it, study it, especially if you're going to buy that house and if it's your first property. For a new build, on the other side, I think we spoke about this in our last video, is do your research on the builder. Make sure they're a reputable builder and the finish, the quality is good, so that way you're not like stuck with a house that's like what do they call it? There's a word for it. Botched house. Not a botched house, but there's a word for it. Oh my god, it's gonna annoy me. Another tip also, if you're buying a house, if you're a first time home buyer, is get a surveyor into the property. Let them come and check it out so you can get an independent viewpoint as well, and they'll also tell you what the house is actually worth. So it's really important for you to get in a surveyor, your own private independent surveyor, to go in and have a look, and then they'll tell you what they think as well, because you don't know what the last person that did the home report, you know, they may have had a different viewpoint, right? And views can change.
So things might have changed since the home report
was completed.
And the independent surveyor is a good one as well, because it'll cost you money on the front end, but you could potentially save money on the back end, because you don't want to just jump into something you're like, oh, this is great, and then later on you find that you have this to fix, you have that to fix. We have our own experiences. That's why Kay is laughing. But yes, and then you end up spending more money on the back end trying to fix all those stuff, and then telling the previous owner, you need to fix this, you need to sort this out.
Do you know why I'm laughing? There's actually a movie with Tom Hanks. I can't remember what the name of the movie is called, but I'll link it somewhere. Remember, and they bought that big mansion, and then they moved in, and then the next minute everything was just falling. Like literally the minute they opened the door fell. The door fell in. So I just find that movie so funny. So you don't want to end up like Tom Hanks in that movie, because he was hilarious. But it's not funny.
Well, if you're the one going through it, it's not funny. But if you're watching it, it's hilarious. So.
And also something to bear in mind as well is make sure when you're buying a property, make sure the value that they're quoting is actually what it's worth. Even what's in the home report, make sure, because sometimes say agencies, they may relist a property, right? And you think you may not have visibility, but there's a way, for example, on Rightmove, you can actually check to see the history of that house, and you'll be able to see when they listed it, removed it, added it, so that way you see if you're getting your money's worth, because maybe they may have put it up higher, right, for example, and then they realized it's not selling, Then they remove it completely, bring it back on the market again, reduce it slightly, right? And you'll be thinking you're getting a bargain, but actually that's room for you to negotiate, because you could be like, well, I noticed this house was put up for this price, but you guys have put it down. Why is that? Obviously, clearly, maybe something is wrong. So that's where you need to get your negotiation boots on and try and, you know,
especially
that price.
Yeah, especially for older houses, you need to learn how to negotiate. Is key, because any little thing you can effectively justify why it's a bit cheaper, especially when you're having to put your bids in.
Yes.
And don't just go straight for home report or above it. That's like COVID times where you go 60% over home. You need to negotiate, go basically below it, and then obviously nothing ridiculous, like home report might be 100,000 and then you negotiate 60. That's not gonna happen. But you need to say, okay, home report is maybe 100,000, but they say offers over 90. You can maybe start 95. You know, you've got that, you're meeting them in the middle. And then at least that way you can go to 100, but you're starting low and then seeing, rather than going 100, because after that you've got nowhere else but up to go.
And for me, the final tip I would say is go with what you can afford and what you've budgeted. Don't go above and beyond what you've budgeted for, because that's what's going to put you in debt, and also that's going to cause you a lot of issues in the future. So, like, to tie in with the whole, like, don't go way over the value of the house, because your value will be, you'll be in negative equity. So bear that in mind as well. So try your best to stick to your budget. Even if the house, if they're saying, no, I want this, no, stick to your guns. Say, nope, I'm giving you 100k. That's my final offer. Take it or leave it. And then if they say no, you move on to the next house. If they say yes, fantastic. But don't sell yourself short and just push yourself to get into something that you know later in the future is going to cause you issues, especially for a first time home. Like, you want to enjoy it, you want to have a good experience. So
exactly. And that's actually gonna another point, as you were saying, that I've just thought of, is your must-haves. You need to have a list of must-haves before you go to have a property. Okay, what must it have? Must it have a driveway? Must it have a back garden, a front garden? Must it have a certain number of rooms, space, cupboard space, all of that? And then once you have your list of must-haves, at least you'll be in a better position to see what's right for you, and you'll know what's right for yourself. And also you can say, as part of your bargaining chip, you can say, well, you go to a house, you really like it, and obviously you put all your aces up your sleeve, right? You don't just let out everything on the table. So you say, let's say you're looking for something with a driveway, but the house that you're seeing doesn't have a driveway, maybe on-street parking, but it has front garden, back garden and stuff like that. But it's a certain price. You can tell them, look, I'm looking for, this is perfect. If it had a driveway, I would have been like straight away. But it doesn't have that. Can I get it for this? A bit less, because I'm going to have to potentially put money to creating my own driveway in the future. So things like that, people, you're talking to humans at the end of the day. So get on the human level, speak to them on that level, and just tell them what it is you're looking for, and having that list of must-haves helps you in that conversation.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed those many tips. I'm sure we could go on and on and on and on. I think just based on our experience, whether it's buying our own house or investing in properties or viewing properties or even just hearing people's stories, I think we have so many things that we can talk about. But I think for this video, we're going to end it there and just say thank you, guys. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. You might as well leave us a comment and a like. Let us know in the comment what you think. Have you bought your own house before? How was your experience, etc.?
But I'm joking. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Wow.